I want to talk about barriers to creativity. And as you can hear by the plural, there are quite a few of these. And today I want to focus on one specific one, which is displacement activity, and guide you through a process that is going to be much more creative and get you through that barrier. So these barriers to creativity, we get to a place when we're writing, when we're in our work in progress, where we can't see what to do next. So it might be, even though you've plotted out your novel, you can't see the detail of specifically what's going to happen next in the scene. Or it might be that you've got an idea for a blog post and you've started it, but then you're not really sure where to go next. Or perhaps you've got that initial idea, but there's something holding you back from really getting into the idea and beginning to write it. And so this very specific barrier is when you just don't know what to write next or what's going to happen next. And so what happens then is the mind, sensing an obstacle or this barrier in front of it, it takes a major detour. So you end up doing something like scrolling on your phone, you end up going onto the internet, opening up a couple of sites, maybe you end up going and making a cup of tea, raiding the biscuit tin. So what I want you to understand is that it's okay to hit that obstacle, but what happens next is really important. Basically, the brain is saying, look, there's this barrier up ahead of me and I'm not sure how to get over it. And so what happens is the brain switches off. It wants to start doing something else because it doesn't want to face the barrier. So what I want to encourage you to do is to stay conscious in the moment. So rather than allowing the brain to switch off and not face the barrier and go and do something else, but do it quite mindlessly, I want you to be really alive in that moment and just be honest and say, okay, I've hit a barrier. It's okay, it happens. I know I'm going to get over that barrier, but I know that I need to get up from the computer, get up from the laptop, go do something else and shift it all, and then I'm going to be able to see the way through. And so that way, the displacement activity becomes a very integral part of your process. So it means that you are leaving the laptop with full consciousness and you're doing something perhaps methodical, like making a cup of tea, or you're doing something like getting outside of the house, just taking a little walk, rather than a kind of mindless, I'm just scrolling on my phone because I just want to kill time, because I don't want to face up to the fact that I can't overcome this barrier. So that displacement activity becomes a very conscious, creative process. So that's one of the ways to come and face when you're experiencing that barrier in your creativity, to just acknowledge it and go, ooh, I've hit a dead end, I've hit this obstacle, I don't know how to get over it right now. But rather than just switch off, I'm going to just do something with full consciousness, take a walk, take a cup of tea out into the garden, sip it slowly, and I'm going to know that by being awake and aware in this process, that barrier is going to come down. And I'm going to be able to get an idea to take me through and into a better progress with my writing piece, whatever it is. So there you go, a nice little useful practice that you can take on board to overcome those specific barriers in your creativity when you can't see the way through and you know that you're engaging in displacement activity. Hope that was helpful. Would love to hang out with you a little bit more, so do feel free to come and join me in my Facebook group, where we do a lot more of these techniques to really make sure that you're coming at your work in progress with full consciousness and being the absolute badass writer that I know that you can be. So great to chat with you here on the sofa, and look forward to seeing you next Monday. Take care.